Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Now, today's going to be a quick video. I'm going to be talking about Marc Lamont Hill, Tariq Nasheed, and their fake outrage about Zoe Saldana. Now, usually, I don't really touch on topics like these, low IQ topics. I got to come down from the heavens and take a break from my, highly intelligent topics to come indulge individuals like Tariq Nasheed and Marc Lamont Hill having a conversation about the Oscars. But let's get into it, right? So Zoe Saldana, she recently won, I think it was an Oscar for a film that she was starring in. Now, I don't watch movies. I don't watch the Oscars. So, black men like myself, I'm not really in tune with these things like these individuals. But I thought the topic was interesting, right? So Tariq Nasheed and Marc Lamont Hill were offended that Zoe Saldana, when she accepted her award, she decided to show love to her Dominican heritage, right? So let's get into it, right? Now, before we get into it, you already know, album out now, album available everywhere, Apple Music, Spotify. Go to the homepage of my YouTube channel, my playlist section, Sahel 1816. Enjoy yourself, man. Now, let's get back into it. Now, Zoe Saldana, when she won her award, I think it was an Oscar, right? She said, I'm the first the first actress of Dominican origin that won an Oscar. And, that's what she said, right? So Tariq Nasheed responded to that, and he said this: congrats to Zoe, but notice how Zoe Saldana was tripling down on the delineation during her Oscar win. She became a super Latina during her Oscar speech. Now, Tariq Nasheed says that Zoe Saldana triple down on the delineation. Now, I just want to say the Dominicans were the first to delineate. They're the originators of delineation. They were the first ones to say we the Native Americans, right? We the Taino Indians. We not from Africa, right? We not black. You know what I'm saying? We not African, right? They were the first ones doing that. They was doing that back in like 1844. You see, Tariq Nasheed in 2025, he just now talking about, oh yeah, we the indigenous Indians. We the Native Americans. The Dominicans were the first ones talking that talk. You see, Tariq Nasheed in 2025, he just now getting on the grip talking about, oh, we not African. We been here. Our bones are buried here. The Dominicans, they've been on that wave for centuries and centuries and centuries. Y'all late. In fact, I'll go further and say that Tariq Nasheed is actually copying the Dominicans, right? When you see Tariq Nasheed say things like we're the indigenous Native American Indians, right? The Native American tribes, right? We always been here. You are actually copying the Dominicans. You cosplaying as the Dominicans. You biting the style of the Dominicans, because the Dominicans were the ones who brought that to the game. The Dominicans were saying that centuries and centuries ago, man. When you see Tariq Nasheed say things like, oh, we are an amalgamation, right? We are a mixture of the Native American and the European and a little bit of the African. The Dominicans were the first ones who brought that to the game, bro. So how the hell you going to be mad at Zoe Saldana for, as you say, delineating, when the Dominicans were the first ones to delineate? They were the first ones in the diaspora to delineate. They were the first ones to say, we're not from Africa, we from here, right? They were the first ones. You the ones biting their style. You the ones copying their style in 2025, right? Listen, if you want to be for real, they were the first ones talking that amalgamation, Native American, indigenous nonsense. They were the first. They were the originators. Put the respect on their name. And on top of that, what grown-ass man in his 50s is sitting around watching the Oscars? Be for real. What grown-ass man in his 50s sitting around watching the Oscars, bro? And on top of that, what grown-ass black man gives a damn about what Zoe Saldana has to say? No offense to Zoe Saldana, nothing against her, but what grown-ass black man with priorities is sitting around worried about Zoe Saldana? Like I said, man, I had to come down from the heavens and take a break from my usual, highly intelligent discussions to engage in this, this malarkey. This is nonsense, but like I said, I'll entertain it. Now, like I said, this is all fake outrage, right? Why are you worried about what the Dominicans identify as, what Dominicans are doing? The Dominicans are a mixed race people, right? Why are you worried about what a mixed race people are doing, right? Why are you worried about what a mixed race people identify as? They're a mixed race people, right? Their society is a result of mixing between various groups. The so-called indigenous Native American Taino male, his lineage was wiped out, right? His lineage was erased, right? And then the indigenous women and the African women mated with the European colonists, and then you have the Dominicans walking around today. They are a mixed race group of people who exist along a spectrum, right? For example, you have Dominicans who are proud of their black ancestry, their African ancestry, like individuals like Carlos Cooks, who was a student of Marcus Garvey, right? You had individuals like Charlemagne Péguat, who was a Haitian, but his family is of Dominican origin, right? He comes from the Dominican family, the Peralta family. but he was a black man and he grew up in Haiti, and he was the frontline general that led the rebellion against the U.S. invasion back in 1915, right? He was actually killed by the U.S. Marines. Yes, he was a Haitian, but he was of Dominican origin. And then, of course, you got Dominicans like Rafael Trujillo. And believe it or not, Rafael Trujillo is actually a descendant of the Haitian revolutionaries, right? But as was typical at the time in societies that had a so-called mulatto elite, you had guys like Rafael Trujillo who wanted to Europeanize the country, who wanted to whiten the country, wanted to erase the blackness from the country and make it a European country, right? Bring in white immigrants and kill the black immigrants. And then, of course, you had other men who followed in his footsteps like Joaquin Balaguer and things like that. So, and also individuals like Pedro Santana, who called the European colonists to come back and recolonize, the Dominican Republic. So like I said, man, due to the fact that Dominicans come from a mixed race society where only a segment of the population is black, right? Y'all make it seem like the Dominican Republic is a black nation. It is not a black nation. It is not a black nation. You have a segment of the population that is straight up white, right? Straight up Europeans, literally. No African admixture. And then you have the majority of the population, which is mixed. The vast majority of Dominicans are straight up mixed. You can look at Zoe Saldana on the screen. This is a woman of mixed race. This is a woman who is a descendant of the European colonists and the native indigenous and the African woman. So I don't understand this fake outrage when she got up on the stage and started speaking Spanish and she gave a shot. Oh, I'm Dominican, this, that, and the third. Oh, she's delineating. Like I said, the Dominicans were the first ones to delineate. The Dominicans were so passionate about delineation that they waged a war of independence against the Haitians just to delineate, right? So when it comes to delineation, the Dominicans are the forefathers of delineation, right? They're the originators, right? They're the pioneers of delineation. So like I said, man, all this nonsense is fake outrage. I don't even know why you're even watching the Oscars as a grown man, Tariq Nasheed, right? See, I don't watch the Oscars. I watch the news, right? So me and you are not the same. Now, I want to get into this this clip from Marc Lamont Hill. He was on the Joe Budden podcast speaking on the situation. Also fake outrage. But anyways, let me get into that clip. I'll be right back.
What are her parents? Her mother's Puerto Rican and Dominican. Her father is Dominican. So she's 75% Dominican.
The lioness ain't Dominican, though.
So she's Dominican and Puerto Rican, right?
Yes.
So why do y'all want her to run up there and yell she's black again?
Because those are ethnicities.
Dominicans are black.
And they're not racist.
But she's pointing. I get it. I
don't see nothing wrong with this
I don't
now.
think she's wrong. I think the people criticizing her are wrong.
But go ahead, Mark. It's just all I'm saying is people can make choices about how they identify. I agree. And I'm not begging nobody to be black if they don't want to identify as black. I agree. However, if you're getting jobs, for example, no white woman would get a job playing Nina Simone. They let her get certain jobs. They let certain Latinos get certain jobs because at that moment they identify as black. Right? And then if you identify as black to get that job, and then later on down the road, suddenly you throw the black away, I see why people feel frustrated. That's all I'm saying. If you don't be black, don't be black, but then don't be Nina Simone.
Now, Marc Lamont Hill is upset that Zoe Saldana played Nina Simone in a movie. Now, like I said, I don't watch movies. I don't watch the Oscars. These grown black men sitting around having discussions about movies. I don't get it. But anyways, I went and looked up, the writers of the movie, who was the production team, who was the production company, right? So the movie, the Nina Simone movie, was written by a white woman named Cynthia Mort, right? So a white woman wrote the movie. So he has a problem with Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone, but meanwhile, the movie was written by a white woman. That's number one. And then I looked at the company that produced the movie, and then I looked at the CEO of the company, and it was some white man. That was number two, right? So the people who bankrolled the movie, who wrote the movie, who produced the movie, who brought it to the big screen was a bunch of white folks. But Marc Lamont Hill is upset because Zoe Saldana, a woman of mixed race, played Nina Simone. Now, like I said, Denzel Washington, he just played Hannibal Barca recently in a film, right? And Denzel Washington, he's not from North Africa. And also, didn't Forrest Whitaker play Idi Amin in a movie one time, right? He not from Uganda, right? Also, didn't Don Cheadle star in Hotel Rwanda, right? He not from Rwanda. He not a Tutsi, right? He not a Hutu. Like I said, man, all this is fake outrage. All this is fake outrage. Y'all sitting around upset because Zoe Saldana went up on the stage and spoke Spanish. What did you want her to do, man? And like I said, man, what grown-ass black man sitting around watching the Oscars? You might as well be sitting up on the shade room, spilling the tea. Listen, man, the brothers down in Mali just shook down the multinational corporations for damn near $2 billion, man. And y'all sitting around watching the Oscars, man. Y'all boys is different. Y'all boys is different, man. We got more entertaining things to be keeping track of, man. We're not watching no damn Oscars. Anyways, man, I'm not going to be here too long. I can't waste my time anymore on this topic. This is beneath me. Anyways, it's your boy Never Card. That's Salim back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash App in the description. album out now. Sahel 1816, available everywhere. Enjoy yourself, man. And I'm gone. Peace.
Took on my losses and now I got racks. Took on my losses and made that shit back. Plan to make gold, I need plenty of plaques. Making my enemies empty the stash. Feel like a see me, I feel like Chiani. African gold is all over my body. African diamonds adorning my fingers. African kid when you look at my features. Enemy watching, I gotta get paid. Enemy watching and stalking my page. Watching my moves and they study my ways. Copy my energy, riding my wave. Enemy watching me like an obsession. Heart of a king, I don't need no acceptance. No, they gon' try but can't stop the progression. No, they gon' try but can't stop the ascension. Foot on the gas and I gotta go hard. Straight to the top, I've been down for too long. Plotting revenge, I'ma make them regret it. Ain't no more talking, I got too much leverage. Talking uranium, diamonds and gold. Keep that shit real, I wish death on my foes. Keep that shit real, I ain't blocking my blessings. Stacking my profit and then I invest it. Feeling untouchable, energy sacred. When I pull up, know my enemies hate. Setting up shop at a secret location. Chopper gon' sound like a standing ovation. Moving in silence, I never been regular. One of a kind, I ain't got no competitors. Son of a king, I'm the kingdom inheritor. Do what I want, I don't care what you telling us. Say to myself, me and my team. Walk in the spot, but they knowin' my name. Beautiful passenger, bet she gon' ride. Keep it authentic, I'm never gon' change. Always been solid, I'm built to survive. Gotta stay focused, I'm deep in the game. Never surrender, I got too much pride. Took on my losses and stayed in my lane.